Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're tackling something specific, yeah, but really interesting. An initiative out of Mongolia. It's all about boosting employment through skills training. We're looking at a recent article you sent over from the Montsame News Agency, just published May 23rd, 2025.
That's the one.
So our goal today is to, slice through this source material and really pull out the core insights. What is this program? How does it work, according to the article anyway? And why do these details matter?
Exactly. This Montsame article, it gives us a snapshot of what they're calling the demand-based skills program. It lays out some details about its recent evaluation, some outcomes.
Okay.
And looking at this piece, it gives us a very concrete example of how countries are, approaching these employment challenges right now.
Right.
So we're going to walk through what the article highlights so you can kind of see the structure, the players involved, and the results they're presenting.
Okay, let's dive in then. The article reports on a presentation, I think it was May 21st, 2025.
Yeah, May 21st. That's when they discuss the implementation, the evaluation report, and the outcomes of this specific program. So it's pretty fresh info.
Fresh look at how things are going, okay? And the article points out this isn't like a brand new thing on its own.
Right. It's not totally isolated. It's actually operating as a subcomponent of a bigger initiative. They describe it as the Emergency Support and Employment Project.
Okay, so part of something bigger. And how long has that been going on? The larger project?
Well, the article notes the Emergency Support and Employment Project itself has been running since 2020.
Since 2020, okay.
So this demand-based skills program fits into that sort of multi-year strategy.
That structure is interesting, fitting a targeted skills program inside a broader, maybe emergency support project. And the article is pretty clear about who's backing it financially.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It names the key partners. Funding comes from the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection of Mongolia and the World Bank.
The World Bank, too.
Yeah. Seeing those names tells you this is an initiative with, significant institutional backing, international support, too, which usually means a certain scale, a certain strategic importance.
Okay. So with that kind of backing, what does the article say is the specific aim of this demand-based skills program itself, its core mission?
As the source describes it, the core aim is basically increasing employment opportunities.
Simple enough.
Pretty direct, yeah. Enhance participant skills, identify what's needed in the market, train people to fill those gaps, and hopefully help them find jobs.
And who's actually doing the training on the ground? Does the article mention a specific body?
It does. That operational role, it falls to the Training, Assessment, and Research Institute of Labor and Social Protection. They're the ones delivering the actual skills development parts highlighted in the piece.
Okay, the Training, Assessment, and Research Institute. Now, the name itself, Demand-Based Skills Program. That phrase, demand-based, it feels important.
It really is.
What does the article tell us about how they pick which skills to train people in?
Well, that's exactly where the demand-based part comes in. The article specifies the training focuses on 17 high-demand professions.
17, okay.
Yeah, high demand in the labor market. So it's not just random training. It suggests it's tied directly to needs identified by employers or industries actually looking for workers right now.
Makes sense.
That strategic focus is pretty crucial if the goal really is to boost employment, especially quickly. They're trying to match the training supply with actual market demand.
Right. Focus the training where the jobs actually are. Now, let's look at what the article presents as outcomes. This is from that May 21st report. It gives some concrete numbers. How many people got trained overall?
So the Montsame article reports a total of 725 individuals received training through this specific program component.
725 people,
Yeah.
okay. And the article even breaks down how they participated. Mentioned a couple of different ways.
It does, yeah. It specifies that within that 725 total, 300 individuals completed what they call qualification training. That's likely your more traditional structured courses.
Okay, 300 in qualification training. And the other part?
And another 200 individuals took part in something called Recognition of Prior Learning Assessment, RPL.
RPL, Recognition of Prior Learning. What does that generally involve? Is it different from standard training?
Yeah, RPL is pretty interesting, actually. It's a process where someone's existing skills, maybe knowledge, competencies they already have.
Like from work experience?
Exactly. Work experience, volunteering, maybe informal learning. Those skills get formally assessed and recognized against specific standards or qualifications.
Okay.
So it means people who already have skills but maybe lack the formal piece of paper, the certification, they can get them acknowledged. It can be a much faster path to employment than starting training from square one.
So the program wasn't just about teaching new skills, but also validating existing ones.
Precisely. It leveraged existing capabilities, too. Adds another dimension to how they approached it.
That's smart. And the article mentions evaluation, assessing how effective the program was.
Yes, and it mentions another named institution did that evaluation. The Institute for Social Policy and Development Research of Mongolia.
Another specific institute.
Right. The article states they evaluated the program and its implementation process, and also they helped with the research methodology for the report itself.
That external evaluation seems important.
It is. It suggests, an attempt to rigorously check if the program's meeting its goals, how effectively it's actually being run.
So, stepping back a bit,
Yeah.
why should you, listening right now, care about these specifics of this one skills program in Mongolia based on this one article?
Well, I think it's a really concrete case study. We talk a lot about strategies to tackle unemployment, skill gaps, globally, really.
Sure.
But this article gives us a look at how it gets implemented in practice. You see it nested within larger projects funded by specific bodies like the Ministry and World Bank, delivered by specific institutions, focusing on demand-based areas, even using different methods like traditional training and this RPL thing. It just shows the complexity, the sort of multifaceted approach that's often required.
Right. It makes that abstract idea of skills training initiatives much more real. It gives it names, numbers, actual components, mentioning, say, 17 high-demand professions. That's not just a statistic.
Yeah.
It underlines how dynamic the job market is, why you need this kind of targeted response. And seeing the World Bank and the ministry involved, it highlights these aren't just small, isolated efforts. They're part of bigger national, even international development strategies.
And that evaluation piece you mentioned is key, too, because it acknowledges the need to actually measure the impact.
Yeah. Are these investments working? Are people getting jobs? Is the training actually hitting the mark?
Exactly. Evaluation, even just the mention of it in the article, signals a commitment to understanding the real results, not just running the program.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just launch programs. You need to know if they're making a difference. Okay. So what we've pulled from this Montsame article gives us a pretty clear picture of this demand-based skills program. It's part of that larger project going back to 2020, funded by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection and the World Bank. It aims to boost employment by focusing skills training on 17 specific high-demand professions. It reached 725 people through different methods like qualification training and RPL.
Recognition of prior learning, yeah.
And it's all been recently evaluated.
It's a detailed look at one specific effort captured in that report.
So to leave you with a thought then, building on that core idea from the article, training for demand-based skills.
Right.
If programs like this are designed specifically to meet current market needs,
Yeah.
What does that tell us about the maybe shelf life of skills today?
That's a great question.
And how does it change how we think about education and training? Maybe not as a one-time thing, but as a potentially continuous process just to keep up as the job market keeps evolving.
Yeah, that constant need to adapt. Something definitely worth considering.